Hi, welcome to the recording for the WYSIWYG unit assignment called Applying CSS Font Attributes. So we'll see on the left-hand side, that's the assignment I'm clicked into. Now, one thing about this assignment is that it actually starts on the previous page. So this is just the second part of it. So I'm going to click on part B right here. And this is where it actually starts. So what this amounts to, in the WYSIWYG unit, you're doing an assignment that's going to be an autobiography website. And your autobiography website will have 5 main pages, and then of course your starting page. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the CSS, the cascading style sheet, so then the fonts and all the attributes will be the same throughout the document. It makes your life so much easier. So I'm going to go down, so I'm right here. I'm going to go on down to where this starts. Now you can watch this video or you can just watch the one that I'm doing. So I'm going to follow these directions exactly. So open NVU, so I have NVU open, Tools, CSS Editor, Expert Mode, Rule. So I'm in NVU, so Tools, CSS Editor, take off Expert Mode. See, I did that, and then hit Rule. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to create some rules for the text and for the website, the way the website will look. So now I'm going to go back to the assignment, and it says the first rule, so I choose Rule, then click Create a New Style. First one's going to be called Titles. So name style, this is going to be titles, and then create style rule. So what I've done is I've created, you can see over here, a rule. Now all the attributes I give that titles can be put to whatever text I put into my document later on. So now I'm going to go back to the assignment. So I did titles, I clicked on create styles, text tab. Now I'm going to make the text for the title of my document. So I'm going to go back to NVU and I click on the text tab. Now what do I want the text to be? Well, it's suggested predefined, and I want my title, I'm going to keep it Arial. But I want the size, maybe I'm going to make this larger size. Now I'll go ahead and I can click smaller size. See how smaller size is right here? I'll make this larger size because I know this is going to be my title. I want it to be a little bit bigger. Now I can give it some color too. So I'll go ahead and hit color, and maybe I want my title to be kind of a dark blue. Then I'll hit OK. So I've given those parameters to my title. Let me go back to the assignment, and it says, so you can choose the color of the text, choose other attributes if you want to, then click close, and then it'll show up. So I've done the attributes, then hit close. So now if you look over here, right here, see it says titles, I just made that. So now anything I type, I can give it those title parameters. And let me go back to the assignment. Okay, type your title on the canvas, highlight the title, and then choose the style to apply it. So watch what I do on this. So my title is going to be, so I'm in NVU, Ron's Autobiography. Now you can see it did not change anything, did it? Now I highlight that. Instead of having to go choose the font and everything I want right here, I just highlight that. And then I choose titles as the class, and look, it put those parameters, those features it put on Ron's autobiography. And now anything else I type falls back to the default. So you can see how this works. So now we have more work to do. So that's the first one. And this is called mystyles.css, so I want to save this work before I lose it. So I'll hit File, Save As. I'm just going to call this, so this first screen right here is My Styles because this will show up at the top of the web page. I'm going to call that My Styles. Now I'm going to save it with the file name. And I'm going to go to where I store all my website stuff. And of course, you have on your computer a folder called Web Design, and that's where you save it. And this is going to go in, I think it's Unit 4. So this is my student account, portfolio, Unit 4, and it's going to be called mystyles.css. I want to go back to the assignment just to make sure what they say about saving. Go down to the bottom of this second part. Yeah, save it in the Unit 4 folder, and we're calling it mystyles.css. Okay, let me go back to my save. So here I was. So mystyles.css, I'm in the Unit 4 folder. Then I'll go ahead and hit, and this I should probably change to all files. So then mystyles.css, and I want to make that all small letters. Save. So now I've saved that. So I can see up here it's saved as mystyles.css. Okay, now I'm moving on to the rest of this assignment. As you can see what the rest of this assignment says, we have to create more styles. So I already did this title style, so now I'm going to do a paragraph, a photo, and a citations one. So watch how this works. So I'll go to NVU. So now I'm going to do a new style. And remember we did it Tools, CSS Editor, take off Expert, Rule, and this rule is going to be called Text. That's what the assignment said. No, Paragraph. Okay, so this needs to be called Paragraph. So it's called Paragraph. We create that style rule. So you can see over here we created it. Now we need to, and we're highlighted on it, so now we need to make it into text. Now I put my title in Arial, so I want this one to be Times New Roman. And on size, I'm just going to keep it where it is. So let's take off larger, make it medium. I'll make that medium. So that's medium, and what color would I want for my text? Well, let's see. I think I'll make my text kind of a light blue. Okay, so now I've created my text. Then I'll hit close. And now if I type any text, whoops, just to show you how this works, now I put that in, go up here, and choose paragraph, and now look what that did. See, it changed that text. So that's how this all works. Okay, so now I'm going to, and I need to highlight all that, and I'll change that later. So now I need to go in, so I've made my, I can look over here, I have the paragraph and the titles. Now I need to create, go to the assignment, a captions one and a citations one. So I'm right here, and I'll do Tools, CSS Editor, take Expert Mode off, Rule. This one's going to be, I'm going to call it Photo Captions, all one word. These will be the words that go underneath the pictures when you put them in. I'm going to create that style rule. And I have it highlighted, then I hit Text. And what do I want to do with this? Well, I want this to be smaller. So I want the text underneath the pictures to be smaller. And maybe I'm going to make that text underneath the pictures, maybe I'm going to make that yellow. And we'll hit OK. So now I've created this one. And check out, I could even make it blinking text if I want to. Now I'll hit close on that. So now I've created paragraph, photo captions, and titles. Now the last thing I need to make is one called citations. And the citations would be wherever I got the pictures from. So I'm going to make a citations one. So I go back to NVU, and I do Tools, CSS Editor, take off Expert Mode, rule, citations, create the style rule, and what would I want citations to look like? I'll click on text, and I want citations predefined. I'll do Times New Roman on the citations. I want them to be small, smaller, and I'm going to make the citations, I'll go ahead and make them a green, what the heck, and I'll hit OK. So now I've set up everything on here. Then I'll hit close. So if I look up here, I've set up all 4 of those things. Now if I get back to my assignment, okay, I've created those 4. Now we need to export it as external style sheet. So to do that, I go to Tools, CSS Editor, and leave Export Mode on. Click on the style sheet name, and then choose Export. Okay, so now I'll go to NVU. Well, actually I better do File, Save, because I've made changes since I last saved, so that's saved. So now I go to Tools, CSS Editor, leave Export Mode on, and let me look at the directions again. Leave Export Mode on, click on the style sheet name, and then choose Export. Okay, that's the style sheet name. Then we're going to export and switch to the export mode. And I'm going to export it to let me look at the directions just to make sure I'm doing this right. So we're going to export it as that same name. Okay. Oh, and it did. It exported it as mystyles.css. So you export it as that same name, then hit close. So it's called mystyles.css. And now for this assignment, all you would do is you take that mystyles.css and you attach it to the assignment. So you attach it, just that file by itself, into the assignment. And that's it. That's an easy 30 points. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this, and then the next recording will be building on from here. So you can see how we created it, then we exported it as a mystyles.css, and then you submit that as an attached file. Thanks for watching. Bye.